Hi everyone, my name is Heather McBain and I am a first year teacher for the 2020-2021 year. Now, like a lot of you might be realizing, teachers this year knew that things were going to be a little different. And one of the things that I really wanted to make sure of, especially since I am teaching first grade this year, is that the things that we did could be fun and educational and allow the students to interact with each other because I feel like that's very important. So I spent a lot of time over the summer learning different things. Some of those things will include boom cards and Google Slides and how to take the kids on a virtual field trip, and of course things like Zoom and Google Meet and all of those things. So recently someone asked me, how do I make these hidden picture games for the students in boom cards? Now, something that I learned right at the very beginning of the year is that my students really loved boom cards. They could do them on their own, we could do them as a class, and they really got into it and had a lot of fun with it. So today I'm going to show you how I make a hidden picture boom card deck. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen here so you can see what I am doing. All right, so I'm going to take you right to my boom card store. Now, I do a lot of things in here that are just for free. That's it, nothing to be purchased, but some things I do put out for purchase. The one that got a lot of attention recently was my winter math hidden picture. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick preview of that. And so it's just a very simple thing. If you haven't seen a boom card deck before, let me make it a little bigger. All right, so this just says find the hidden picture by solving the math problems. Now, my students are in first grade, but they've seen these so many times now that they know exactly what to do. And it only takes them a couple of times before they know how to use these things. All right, so you'll go ahead and hit start. And then you can see that we have our math problem over here, and we have some answers here. All right, so 8 minus 5. So we're going to click the 3. And now you can see that it's removed it. And so we've got a little piece of our picture showing here. So then we have 7 plus 6. So we can go ahead and add our 7 and 6. And we'll go ahead and move forward. Now, if let's say we gave an incorrect answer, like this, it'll just exit out. And now we have to try to figure out what is the answer to this problem. Now, just before we went on winter break, my kids were working on addition with 3 addends, and that's what we've got here. All right, so that is basically how one of these boom card decks work. So you would answer all of the questions until we've revealed the entire picture. And like I said before, my kids have, they've seen these a lot, they've done a lot of these, and they really enjoy them and they have a lot of fun with them. It makes it more of a game than it is learning. Even though, of course, they are learning, or in this case, they're reviewing how to do that certain type of math. All right, so today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a boom card deck that is going to go over some sight words that I've noticed that my students have been having trouble remembering. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open a Google slide. Now I do this a little bit of a long way, but it works really well for me. So to get to your Google Slides, you're going to go to the dots up here in the corner, and then you're just going to scroll on down to slides. All right, now boom cards, as you may have noticed, are a very specific size. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click blank because we're going to start a whole new one. And then we are going to choose a blank slide and get rid of this one. So just hit delete. All right, so here we are with our blank slide. Now to start with this, I'm only going to make 2 slides, okay? All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to File and Page Setup because we need to change the way that this is set up. We need to change the size and go to Custom. Now I set mine to 14 by 10. The actual size is actually 7 by 5. The reason why I choose 14 by 10 is because if you use the 7 by 5, sometimes the picture gets a little clouded. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So hit apply. Now remember I said that we're going to be making 2 cards in order to do this boom card deck. So we're going to duplicate it. That way they are the exact same size. So now we need a background. Now for the background, I like to use some backgrounds that I found on this site. So this is the Teachers Pay Teachers site. I like to use the ones made by KVK Resources. She did a really great job. She has all sorts of clip art and things that you can buy. Some of her items are free. So this is a really great resource. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a background. So let's go ahead and change the background. And let's see, so we don't want that. Boom, backgrounds, here we are. All right, so for this one, I'm going to use one that looks sort of like a brick background. So we'll go ahead and pull that up. And I'm going to put that on both of these. All right, so now we've got our background there. And so the next thing that I am going to do is we're going to insert some text. And this is going to be directions on what we're going to be doing here. So this is going to say, find the hidden picture by clicking the word you hear. And let's make that a little bigger. All right. All right, and so on this one, we are also going to put some instructions in here. All right, so for the hidden picture for this, I went to a website called Pixabay, and I just typed in winter. And then I took a look at their pictures and I selected this little house scene. All right, now I also made sure to check the licensing, so free for commercial use. All right, and same thing for the KBK resources. The options that I use are able to be used, and I do make sure to give her credit as well. All right, so that's the picture we are going to be using. So now we are going to insert a picture. So just go to Insert, Image, Upload from Computer, and that one is in my downloads. There it is right there. And so we're just going to put that in right about there. Let's see, let's go ahead and get that nice and centered on there. There we go. All right, and so once I have this all created, over here under where it says click the word you hear, we're going to be putting a speaker button in there. We're going to do that actually in the boom card itself. All right, so here we need to select a photo for the cover. All right, now I of course don't want it to be that picture because that picture is something that we are going to see once we have solved the problem. Also on this one, if you notice here at the bottom, the white sort of blends in with the back, so I'm actually going to put a border on that. Let's see here. There we go. So now that's nice and clear so you can see where the edges of the photo are. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So we want to put another image in there. Now Google Slides has done something very interesting. So we are selecting from Google Slides images, but they have already set this so that it will only select pictures that we can use and share. All right, so let's just look for a nice winter photo. Let's see, something that the students will like. That one might be cute. Let's see. Yeah, I like that one. Let's go with that. So we're going to center that there. And let's put a little border on that one too. There we are. All right. So this is it for this step. So we are all done with this step. We are going to add some recordings and things in here. So now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to download both of these as a PowerPoint presentation. I know that seems like a strange step to do, but trust me on this, it works really well. So once you have it downloaded as a PowerPoint presentation, we're going to open the PowerPoint. So let me go ahead and share that PowerPoint with you. There we are. All right, so once you're here in the PowerPoint, you're going to go ahead and enable sharing or enable editing. And what you want to do here is you just want to take a quick look at it, make sure that both of your pictures are sitting the correct way. Sometimes when you do this, it will move your words around a little bit. So you just want to make sure that everything is right where you want it to be. And looks like everything here is good. All right. So now we are going to go to File, Export. We're going to change the file type to a JPEG and then hit Save All. All right, as you can see, I've already named this Sight Words Hidden 1. And when it comes up, it'll say, which slides do you want to export? Just this one or all slides? And you're going to select all slides. And so that will automatically make its own little folder in your downloads. All right, so now comes the fun part. So now we're going to go back into Boom Cards. You're going to go to your studio and we're going to go into images. Now, once we're in images, I suggest making a new folder for every single Boom Card deck that you make. That way you can keep track of everything. And let's see here. Let me show you where we are at on that. Okay. So to get to that, you go to Studio and then Images. And then once you're here in Images, we're going to go to New Folder. And let's see here. Sight Words Hidden 1. And then you're going to find it and upload your images. And there's our 2 images right there. All right, so once we have those added, we're going to go back into Studio and we're going to select Make Decks. Okay, so now we're going to click on New Deck. I like to go into details first and make sure that I have it named. All right, and so this would be good for first or second grade as a review. All right. And this one we're going to make for free. Now, we do want to make sure that we uncheck where it says randomize cards because we don't want these cards to come up out of order. All right, and then we'll go to subject, and this is English. Now, in this section here, down here where it says acknowledgements, that's where I'm going to acknowledge the KBK resources. So I'm just going to grab that link there. Right. Okay. All right, and so for our cover photo here, I'm going to use that first slide that we created. Now we're not ready to publish to the store yet, so I'm going to leave that. All right, and so here we are with our first page. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click background, and we're going to grab that first slide. So this is what our background is going to look like. Now we're going to click add card, and we are going to grab our second slide. Now, once we are done creating this, we're going to come back in and add some sound to it. So we'll actually do some recording. All right, and so we'll go ahead and click here. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to use these buttons. And we're going to put these buttons in here. I think we're going to do 12 words in all. So the first thing that you want to do is size your buttons so that we know how many we can put in here, how big they need to be, and how this is all going to work out. So once you've got a button in there, just go ahead and click duplicate. And let's see. Okay, so I'm going to make all of these just a tad wider, I think. So let's go ahead and delete that. Because basically what I want to do here is create 3 rows of 4. Now you can, of course, do that differently. That's just what I'm doing here. Okay, that looks pretty good, but let's scoot this over. Let's see, I want to scoot those over just a little bit more. All right, so I like the way that looks. All right, now the nice thing about boom cards is that it allows you to do this and be extremely accurate. And you can do that by using this position area right here. Okay, so you can see that one is sitting at 45. This one, these two are both sitting at 46. I actually think I like the 45 position better, so we're just going to move that. So now we have those all at the same spot. Okay, so now I want to make these long enough that we can do 4. So I'm actually going to get rid of these 2. We'll bring them back in a moment. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. And let's see if that works out. Okay, so that doesn't work. We need to make those just a tad bigger. Now, here's the great thing about this is that we are only going to have to do this process, which seems a little long, once. And I'll show you how that's going to work in just a moment. Oh, that might be it right there. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our buttons all in a nice row. All right, you see I'm just using these here to go ahead and move those buttons so that they all function correctly, or so that they're all in the right spot. All right. Okay, then we're just going to keep making buttons and moving them and putting them into their places, and then adjusting them so that we have them all in the right spot. Okay, so now just like we did on the top row, we're just going to take a look at these, make sure that we have them all right where they want them. All right, and so let's see. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. All right, so now we've got all of our buttons in place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change the word button and put in our sight words. So let's see. So we're going to use after. And I like to make mine nice and bold. A lot of my students are using the Google Chrome, the Chromebooks. And so the Chromebooks have kind of a small screen. So I like to make sure that everything is nice and bold and easy for them to see. Let's see. I'm just trying to remember which words I was going to use. Let's see, 2 more. All right, so what we would do here is we are now going to duplicate this card. Let's go ahead and I'm going to make all of the answers wrong to start with. And then we'll start deciding which ones we're going to take away first. Okay, so let's say on the first card, we are going to use the word just. So we'll be making a recording here in a little bit, and we'll be putting the word just right here. So we'll go ahead and turn that one correct. And now let's duplicate our card. Now you do that by hitting the clone selected card button over here on the side. So we're gonna go ahead and clone it. So now here we are in card 3. Now what we wanna do, because we said that this one was correct, so this card can't, or this button can't be here anymore, we're just gonna delete it. So just press your delete button. All right, so we're gonna do that for each one of these words individually. So let's say our next word we're going to say in the recording is after. So we'll make that one correct. And now clone your card. So now here we are, and we are now going to delete the after card. And then let's make the next one round. So we're gonna make round the correct card, and then clone it, and now delete round. All right. All right, so let's see here. So let's make the next one over, and now clone your card. Now delete over, and we'll make the next one sum. So we'll go ahead and mark that one as correct. Now, if you are following along here, oh, you know, we forgot to put a start button here. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and make that start button a little smaller so that it fits on here well. We'll put the start button right underneath that house. Okay. So let's go ahead and preview it so that you can see what we're doing. All right, so we have find the hidden picture by clicking on the word you hear. Now again, we're gonna go ahead and put a recording in here. That way they can hear you saying that. And then we're gonna click our start button. All right, so click the word you hear. And I think we said that over was gonna be the first one.
Whoops.
Oh, that's not it. Let's see.
Whoops. Whoops. Whoops.
Well,
Whoops. Whoops.
there it is. All right, and you see how we finally found the right word just, and that took that away. And this will work better once we have the recording in here. That way we know which word we selected. Seeing how it just takes it away. All right. So we're going to continue that process of selecting the word and then taking it away on the next card. So here we are. We said that some was going to be correct. So we're going to clone it. And then on the next one, we're going to delete it. And then we'll go ahead and let's make her the correct one on this one. And then you're going to clone it. All right, and so since we said that her was the correct one on the last card, we're going to delete it from this one. And then we're going to make again the correct card. All right, and then we're going to delete it from the next card. All right, and so you're just going to keep doing that until you've got them all completed. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause our recording here and finish this portion of it up, and then we'll keep going in a moment. All right, so now that I have created all of the cards for the Boom card deck, so we've completed everything and the picture is there. What I did is I went in and I recorded a voice recording to go with every single card that we made. All right, and I did that by using what's literally just called voice recorder on my cell phone. And to make sure it's extra clear, I also use a headset when I make that recording. This is the headset that I use to do that. And again, that's, it's up to you on how you want to make your recording, but that seems to work best for me to make sure that it's nice and clear. Now, for some strange reason, when I make those recordings on my cell phone, it doesn't send them to me in an audio file. It sends them as a video file. I'm not sure why. The program is literally called a voice recorder. So I'm not sure why it does that. However, once I've made all of my recordings, I email them to myself, and then we're going to download them. And so now that I have them downloaded, I need to convert them into an audio file. So I found a great online audio converter. It's free to use. So we're just going to come in here. Let's see, what we do need to make sure that we have our files. So there's our files. So we'll go ahead and extract them. Let's see, that should do the trick. Okay, so there's our attachments. All right, so we are going to come in here. We're going to find our audio files. We're going to select all of them. And then we're going to watch it convert them. Now, while it actually does that, I'm going to come back into our Boom card deck. And we are going to go back into the studio because we need to make a new file for our sounds. So you just come down here to the bottom, select sounds. Now remember, we're going to make a new folder for every one of these that we do. All right, and so let's see, what did we call this one? Okay, so now we've got our folder ready to go, and let's see where we're at here. All right, and see how fast that went? It already downloaded them, nice and quick. So we're going to download those, and then we need to go back in again and make sure that we have extracted those. All right, so we'll go ahead and close that, and we're going to upload our sounds. And let's just make sure we've got the right ones here. There we are. All right, so now we are uploading our sounds. And once we have our sounds uploaded, we're going to go back to Studio, go back into Make Deck, find the one that you're working on, which is this one right here, our Winter Hidden Picture Sight Words. And we're going to take a look at card 1. All right, so this is really easy to do. So we're just going to grab sound. We're going to pop it up there. We are already, let's see, we're in our winter picture here. Now, when I record my sounds for my Boom cards, I name each sound by the card number that it goes with. So we're looking for card 1, which is right here.
Find the hidden picture by clicking the word you hear.
All right, and so we're just going to select that one. And so now when we go to preview, we can push that and hear it.
Find the hidden picture by clicking the word you hear.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and add our sounds to each one of our cards. So this is card 2. So we're going to look for sound 2, and there it is. And then card 3. And card 4. All right, and so we're just going to keep doing that until we have our sound for each card on that card. And again, my students have been using these since the beginning of the year, so they already know when they see the little speaker button to go ahead and click on it, and that it will have something to say to them. So it might be instructions, or it might be a word. So they already know how to do that. It did not take me a long time to get them to understand the process, and keeping in mind that mine are first grade. So some of mine are, 6 and 7 years old. And they pick this up very, very quickly on how to do this. So this, I think, could be used for students of any age, maybe not preschool, but, I could definitely see kindergarten should be able to do this. First grade can definitely do it. And so that's something that's nice and easy for them. So I'm going to go ahead and add all of those sounds in, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, so I have added in all of the sounds for each of the cards. Now, before I put any card deck out there, I always make sure and play my own deck first. So we're going to preview it, make sure that everything works correctly. All right, so let's go ahead and hit preview, and let's listen.
Find the hidden picture by clicking the word you hear.
All right, so we're going to click our start button to start, and then let's listen.
Just.
All right, so we're going to click just, and you see it went away.
After. Round. Over. Some. Her. Again. Any. Him. Ask. Put. Has. Good job.
All right, so there we are. So the Boom Card deck is correctly working. Everything functioned on it properly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go up to preview. Oh, no, not preview. Let's stop that. Details. We're going to go into details, and I've gone ahead and set this one as a 0 points. So this one, let's go ahead and change the wording on this to freebie winter hidden picture sight words. And then we'll go ahead and publish this. All right, and so now that is out there on the store. So we can go ahead and take a look at that by going into the studio. And then we'll go to my store. And there it is right there. Our winter hidden pictures. All right, so that is how I create a hidden picture using a combination of Google Slides, because I find it to be easier to work with. I also use PowerPoint, but only for the idea of making sure that I have everything where it's supposed to be, and that I can save everything as a JPEG right there in one nice, neat little bundle. If you were to use Google Slides to save those cards into JPEGs, what you would actually have to do is to save each slide individually, as where if you just go ahead and export it into PowerPoint, you can save them all at one time. So it just makes the process a little bit faster for me. Some of my Boom Card decks are rather large. I made one yesterday that was almost 80 cards. So if you're doing something big like that, it can really make it a lot faster. to just go ahead and export it into a PowerPoint. Now, if you're really good at PowerPoint, PowerPoint might be easier for you just to start with. I am not good with PowerPoint, so I use Google Slides and then export to PowerPoint for the purpose of saving it. So that is it. That is how I make my hidden picture boom card decks. I will probably be making a few more of these types of videos again in the future, and I hope that you guys enjoyed. All right, well, I hope everybody has a great day and have fun teaching, everyone. Bye.